Okay, students, let us continue with the chapter The Maratha War of Independence, Part 2. Now let's look the next part, Campaign against the Siddhi. The Siddhi of Janjira used to harass the people of Maratha territory. He used to raid, burn and loot the Maratha territory and commit atrocities. Sahasada had described him as a rat in the house. Sambhaji Maharaj started a campaign against him in 1682 CE. His army laid a siege to Siddhi's Rajpuri fort and battered the fort of Janjira with the artillery. But at the same time, the Mughal army invaded Swaraj. Sambhaji Maharaj had to abandon the Janjira campaign and turn back. Now here you see that the Siddhis are Siddhi of Janjira. What they used to do is to harass the people of in the Maratha territory. They used to enter the Maratha territory, harass them. Now this the Siddhi of Janjira, he was also known. What they used to do? They used to come raid. Raid means they used to, all of a sudden in the silence they used to come around over there with the entire army, raid the entire people. Okay, beat them around over there, take all, loot everything. Take all the territory, all the treasury around over there. Take away the goods of the people around over there, whatever they're selling in the market, and then run away from them. Okay, loot, take away everything from the Maratha territory, and they used to commit atrocities. Means beat and go. Means not beforehand, not giving an intimation that they're coming for a war or they're going to coming for an attack. In this manner, the common people of Maratha had to struggle a lot. Okay, they were not prepared. Anytime these people, the Siddhi of Janjira used to come and attack them, do atrocities to them, treat them very badly, and go away. Now, Shahasada has described. Now, what has he has described the Siddhi of Janjira as a rat. Okay, anytime the rat will come and destroy things, and go in the same manner this Siddhi of Janjira used to come and do atrocities to the people of Maratha. The Sambhaji Maharaj decided to teach him a lesson. Okay, so what did he do? He started a campaign against the Siddhis in 1682 CE. His army laid a siege. That means his army went ahead to the Siddhi of Janjira. Okay, that is about the Siddhi's fort. That was Dhanandarajpuri fort. Okay, and battered the fort of Janjira with the artillery. Battered means with this artilleries. What it did, they attacked the fort with all these artilleries. When the artilleries were put in, what happened? The entire thing burst up around over there. The Dhanandarajpuri fort bursted up around over there. Okay, that is what battered. Okay, but what happened when Sambhaji and his troop came down to attack the Janjira fort around over there? At that same time, the Mughals attacked the Maratha power. Okay, or invaded Swaraj. So what Sambhaji had to leave that fight in halfway and come back to Swaraj to safeguard and protect the fort. Okay, this is the campaign against the Siddhi. Now let's look campaign against the Portuguese. The Portuguese of Goa joined hands with the emperor against Sambhaji Maharaj. So Sambhaji Maharaj decided to teach a lesson to the Portuguese. He attacked the Ravindra fort of the Portuguese in 1683 CE. To counter this, the Portuguese laid a siege to the Fonda fort of the Marathas on the Goa border. The Marathas broke through the siege and attacked Goa. In this battle, Yeshaji Kanke showed great valor. The Portuguese governor got wounded and retreated. Sambhaji Maharaj followed him. The Portuguese were in deep trouble. At this time, Sambhaji Maharaj got the news that the Mughals had attacked South Konkan. Therefore, he had to abandon the winning campaign of Goa and return to fight with the Mughals. So the Portuguese, what did they do? They joined hands with the emperor, okay, the Mughal emperor, and they fought against Marathas. Okay. Now Sambhaji Maharaj wanted to teach them a lesson. So what did he do? He decided to attack the Ravindra fort of the Portuguese. That was in the year 1683 CE. Okay. To encounter this, what did the Portuguese do? Portuguese did a siege on the Fonda fort of Maratha that was at Goa border. To counter attack them, to show that even we are powerful around. What did the Portuguese do? The Portuguese attacked the Fonda fort near the Goa border. Okay, the Marathas broke siege. That means they entered Goa and attacked the Portuguese. Okay, and took over. And there was a great battle between the Marathas and the Portuguese at the Goa border. Okay, now they were able to take the entire part of Goa under their custody. Okay, and defeat the Portuguese completely. But that means what happened? Yashaji Kanke showed great valor. Okay, valor around means great courage. Okay, in fighting around and winning over the entire Goa under the custody of Maratha. Now the Portuguese governor got wounded, and what did Sambhaji do? He went behind this Portuguese governor and was going on defeating them and taking the entire part under the Maratha, increasing the Maratha power, ruling power. Okay, now the Portuguese were in deep trouble. This moment of time, so Portuguese were in deep trouble because what happened? The Ravindra fort was also defeated by the Maratha Sambhaji. Okay, by Sambhaji Chhatrapati, and also now the Fonda fort, which they had fought over there, which they had attacked, was also been defeated. The Marathas defeated the Portuguese over here. But one thing happened when he was fighting with the Portuguese over here. Sambhaji Maharaj got the news about the campaign. He got to know that the Mughals had almost entered the south of Konkan. Okay, so what Sambhaji had to do? Sambhaji was almost on the verge of winning over the entire part of Goa and winning over the Portuguese. But as he got the news that the Konkan area, south of Konkan, were in danger and the Mughals were entering around over there, he had to leave this. He had to leave the entire campaign against the Portuguese, leave it, and rush towards the south of Konkan to safeguard the Maratha ruling power over them. Okay, so in both the places, in the campaign against the Siddhi as well as in the campaign against the Portuguese, where you find Sambhaji Maharaj both the places had to leave in between and come back to safeguard his Maratha Swaraj. Is it clear? His Swaraj, his own kingdom around over there. Here we find the Adil Shahi and the end of the Adil Shahi and the Qutub Shahi. Aurangzeb did not succeed in his campaign against the Marathas. Therefore, he suspended that campaign. Then he turned towards the kingdoms of Adil Shahi and Qutub Shahi and conquered them. The wealth and army of both the kingdoms was now acquired by the Mughals, and it made Aurangzeb even stronger. Then he concentrated all his might on defeating the Marathas. He attacked the territory from all sides. The Maratha army general Hambirao Moite got killed during an encounter with the Mughal army. Due to this blow, the military strength of Sambhaji Maharaj was weakened. Now, what do you find around over here? In the early part, where you find Aurangzeb was made to even, bend his knees in front of Sambhaji Maharaj. He had even put down his entire turban down and said that unless I put Sambhaji down, unless I destroy the entire Maratha power, I am not going to wear my turban back. Okay, in that case. Now, what Aurangzeb did, Aurangzeb for some period of time left his attention, as he couldn't win over Marathas or defeat Sambhaji in any manner. He paid his attention to Adil Shahi and the Qutub Shahi. Okay, Okay, so what did he do? He defeated the Adil Shahi and the Qutub Shahi and destroyed them and brought them to an end. And in this manner, the Adil Shahi and Qutub Shahi conquered the kingdoms of Adil Shahi and Qutub Shahi, and in turn became very rich in terms of money, as well as in terms of financial, as well as in terms of military power too. And later on, with the entire military power, now he has doubled his power. Okay, triple power he has got over. He has got his own military power. He has got the Adil Shahi military power. He has got the army of the Qutub Shahi also under his control. With these three powers, what did he do? He attacked Maratha ruling power. Okay, in then he concentrated all his might on defeating the Marathas. He attacked the territories of the Marathas, and in this attack, what happened? Hambirao Mohite, the general, the Maratha army general, got killed during an encounter with the Mughal army. And what happened? This encounter in the army, where the army general, that is Hambirao Mohite got killed around over here. Due to this blow, the military strength of Sambhaji Maharaj was affected a lot and was weakened. Okay, this made the Maratha power, or the Maratha military power, or the Maratha army power to be weakened, and which made the Aurangzeb to win over or take away territories of Maratha under his custody. Administration of Sambhaji Maharaj. Even though Sambhaji Maharaj was busy fighting on various battlefronts, he did not ignore his administrative responsibilities. He continued the prompt justice and revenue system, which was characteristic of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj's era. Boys, what you find, even though there were many wars, the Adil Shahi, the Qutub Shahi, the Portuguese, the Siddhis, okay, and even the Mughals fought with Sambhaji Maharaj. Even though there were many for fightings happening around over there, many wars being placed around over there, but yet Sambhaji Maharaj never ignored his administrative responsibilities. Okay, he took care of his subjects, gave them proper justice. Okay, now these the justice, he continued with the prompt justice and revenue system. This was what was there since the time of Shivaji Maharaj. Okay, that means which was the characteristic of Shivaji Maharaj, that is the proper justice and also revenue system. Okay, that was what was continued even during the time of Shivaji Maharaj, the era that was being continued even by Sambhaji Maharaj. Okay. He severely punished the landlords who harassed common people and who rebelled against the Swaraj. He gave administrative powers to Maratha Maharani Yashubai. He gave her own stamp. He continued the legacy of Shivaji Maharaj's welfare policies. Sambhaji Maharaj knew Sanskrit and many other languages well. He studied many ancient books on polity and wrote their gist in a book called Buddha Bhushan Nam. Now here you find that Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj, he severely punished the landlords who had collected heavy tax or heavy money from a farmer or harassed any common people. Okay. Now he also was who rebelled. There were some people who rebelled against Swaraj. He put them to end. Okay. Next, he gave the administrative powers of Maratha even in the hands of Rani Yashubai. Okay. He gave her his own stamp. That means own recognition around over here. He continued the legacy That is legacy of Shivaji Maharaj, welfare policy. What policy Shivaji Maharaj had? The same policies he continued around over there. The legacy of Shivaji Maharaj was continued in terms of welfare policies also. Now Sambhaji, to talk about Sambhaji Maharaj, he knew many languages. Okay, he knew Sanskrit and many other languages too. He studied many ancient books and polity and also worked for the welfare of the people. Now the gist of this is given in a book named Buddha Bhushan Nama. In that book, a gist of his, what you see around over there, the polity that he has written is been explained in there in a short term. Okay, boys. Now we come to death of Sambhaji Maharaj. Aurangzeb was trying very hard to defeat Sambhaji Maharaj. He had placed Mukarrab Khan in charge of the Kolhapur province. Mukarrab Khan learned that Sambhaji Maharaj was at Sangameshwar in Konkan. He raided the palace and captured Sambhaji Maharaj. When Sambhaji Maharaj was taken to the emperor, he faced him fearlessly. By the emperor's order, he was brutally put to death on 11th March 1689. This Maratha Chhatrapati did not compromise his self-respect and faced his death nobly and bravely. The Marathas took inspiration from his sacrifice and intensified their fight against the Mughals. So what do you find over here? You find that Aurangzeb was trying very hard to defeat Marathas, okay, and especially defeat Sambhaji Maharaj. Now he had placed Mukarrab Khan in charge of the Kolhapur provinces. Now Mukarrab Khan came to know that Shivaji Maharaj was in Sangameshwar in Konkan. So what did he do? He with his own army, Mukarrab Khan raided the Sangameshwar and he captured Sambhaji Maharaj, took and arrested Sambhaji Maharaj and brought him in front of the emperor. Okay, when he was brought in front of the emperor, Sambhaji Maharaj fought very fearlessly. He fought in front of the emperor. Now, by what happened, the emperor got angry at him and the emperor forced him and put him to death. He was brutally killed. He was brutally killed on 11th March on 1689. Sambhaji Maharaj was brutally killed by the emperor. Now, Maratha Chhatrapati, that is this Chhatrapati. Who is this Chhatrapati we are talking about? We are talking about Sambhaji Maharaj, that is Shivaji Maharaj's son. Okay, he faced fearlessly, he faced his death nobly and bravely. Okay, and his self-respect did not die. Okay, Sambhaji Maharaj's self-respect did not die. That is why he faced his death nobly and fearlessly and bravely. The Marathas took inspiration from the sacrifice and intensified the fight against the Mughals. The Marathas, when they came to know that their Chhatrapati Sambhaji died fearlessly and fought bravely around over there, and the death was noble around it, they got inspiration from Sambhaji Maharaj and went on the fight against the Mughals. Maratha and the Mughals went on continuing. Okay, boys.